ሰነበታችሁ በዚህ የቪዲዮ ክፍላችን ስለ ኢመርጂንግ ቴክኖሎጂ ኮርስ የወጣ ወርክሺት አለ እሱን ወርክሺት በጋራ አብረን እንሰራለን ማለት ነው። እሺ እዚህ ላይ መጀመሪያው ፓርት ላይ የማቺንግ ኩዌስችን ነው ያለው። እዚህ ጋር እንደምናየው ማቺንጎቹ ጥያቄዎች ሁላቸውም ሌቭልስ ኦፍ አርቲፊሻል ኢንተለጀንስ ላይ የወጡ ናቸው። ስለዚህ እነዚህን ለመመለስ ሌቭል ኦፍ አርቲፊሻል ኢንተለጀንስ ማየት አለብናል ማየት አለብን ማለት ነው።
Okay, artificial intelligence have seven levels starting from rule-based system to singularity and transience. So the first one is rule-based system, which is the most common and currently available artificial intelligence in this world.
And cannot perform beyond its field and limitation.
And which means that they always perform a dedicated task with intelligence,
or single activity. It is perform or can't think out of the box, means that it's designed to perform or work their activity according to their program or trend, and cannot learn new thing by itself.
Such kinds of artificial intelligence covers from robotic processing automation and domestic appliances like domestic appliances to aircraft autopilots. እነዚህ ያጠቃልላሉ ማለት ነው actually አይደል?
Like a self-driving car, robot and domestic appliances, drone የሚሉትን ያካተለ።
When it comes to the next one, which is context awareness and retention ምንለው ነው። እዚህ ጋር የምናየው context awareness and retention, the system have the ability to aware the context and then the word context will be retained, which means stored and remembered ማለት ነው።
and በሁለተኛ ደረጃ ላይ የሚሰሩት artificial intelligenceዎች they are trained on the knowledge and experience of the best human ነው። best human የሚባለው trained እና knowledge experience ያላቸው ናቸው, and their knowledge base is updated when any situation and queries are raised.
Since they are called context awareness and retention ስለሚባሉ they aware the given context and then finally that context will be stored ስንል their knowledge will be upgraded or updated እያለ ነው ማለት ነው. Like catboot and robo advisor, which is included in these kinds of artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
The next one is domain specific expertise ምንላቸው, which is the level 3 of artificial intelligence. Such kind of system is built on the experts.
Domain specific expertise, as a name implies, just domain specific expertise means there is an artificial intelligence that have expert on a specific domain እንደማለት ነው. System build up expertise in a specific context, taking in a massive volume of information and can use for a decision making.
which ምን እያለ ነው እነዚህ domain specific expertise ስንል ስማቸው domain በሆነ domain expert የሆኑ ሲስተሞች እያለ ነው. then if we train a new domain to those kinds of systems, they will forget all kind of information which is related with the older domain እያለ ነው ማለት ነው. ወይም ደግሞ አዲስ ዶሜን ስናሰለጥናቸው ሙሉ ለሙሉ መረጃቸውን የባለፈውን ዶሜን ሙሉ ለሙሉ መረጃውን ሉዝ ያደርጋሉ እያለ ነው ማለት ነው. Successful tests have been seen in cancer diagnosis, which is ይሄኛው ምን ማለት ነው? They are available today ማለት ነው. and they are available and they have been successful in cancer diagnosis እያለ ነው ማለት ነው. The next one is reasoning machine ምንላቸው ናቸው. That indicates they have the ability to reason out while they are in communication ማለት ነው አይደለ? They have the ability to attribute the mental states of themselves and others. Since እነዚህኞቹ ማሽኖች ምን ብለናቸዋል? The machine have the ability to communicate with human being or other systems ስንል they have the ability to attribute the mental states of themselves plus others ማለት ነው. ኮሙኒኬት ሲያደርጉ የሚያገኙት አዲስ መረጃ አለ, attribute mental states of themselves ማለት ነው. and then ደግሞ ኮሙኒኬት ሲያደርጉ አዲስ መረጃ ለሌሎች ሲስተሞች ወይም ለሰዎች ያስተላልፋሉ, which means attribute the mental states of others ምንለው ነው ማለት ነው. and the next thing is
self-awareness system. is just the system have human like intelligence አለው, and the algorithm that used to develop this kind of artificial intelligence is have portrayed in media,
which means they will be used in media ማለት ነው አይደል? Okay, the next one is artificial super intelligence ምንላቸው ናቸው.
artificial super intelligence ምንላቸው ደግሞ the algorithm that used to develop this kind of artificial intelligence is more outsmart and even have most intelligent than human being by every domain እንደማለት ነው. like algorithm develop የሚሆንበት that's more outsmart and even the most intelligent human in every domain,
which means they will beat every human, the best human in every domain እያለ ነው። በእያንዳንዱ ዶሜን ምንም አይነት ቤስት የሚባል ሰው ቢኖር ከዛ ሰው የተሻለ መስራት የሚችሉ ሲስተሞች ናቸው እያለ ነው። the next point is these kinds of
artificial intelligence have more performance over human being
in every aspect ነው ማለት ነው። this is the last one is singularity and transcendence ምንለው ነው። this system is based on artificial super intelligence. Actually artificial super intelligence is based on self awareness, and then the preceding levels of artificial intelligence is the base for the next ወይም ደግሞ መጀመሪያው ከነሱ በፊት ያለው ቤዛቸው ነው ብለን ነው የምንነሳው። እዚህ ሲንጉላሪቲ ኤንድ ትራንሲደንስ ጋር ስንመጣ the main thing is massive expansion in human being ወይም ደግሞ human capability, which means human augmentation ምንለው ነው።
and can create human mind that can share idea to the other.
እንዴት ነው ሸር ማድረግ የሚችሉት? ሁለት ነገር አለ። hive mind which is the current successor of የአሁኑ የኢንተርኔት ሰክሰሰር ወይም የአሁኑ ኢንተርኔት ወደፊት የሚመጣ ሌላ ኢንተርኔት አለ። we call it hive mind እንለዋለን። then the human brain uses that hive mind in order to be connected ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ሰዎች በኮኔክትድ ሆኖ አእምሯቸው ኮኔክት ከሆነ በኋላ በአንድ ላይ ያስባሉ which means human augmentation የምንለው እሱኛው።
ስለዚህ እስካሁን ባየነው በሌቭልስ ኦፍ አርቲፊሻል ኢንተለጀንስን እነዚህኞቹን እናዛምዳለን ማለት ነው። rule based system, context awareness and retention, domain specific expertise, reasoning machine and self awareness system. Rule based system E, domain appliance to aircraft autopilot and self driving and drones ያሉትን የሚያካትተው autopilot ያለውን ማለት ነው።
The next one is context awareness and retention,
which is choice A, chatbot and robot advisor ማለት ነው።
The third one is domain specific expertise system.
B, successful tests have been seen in cancer diagnosis.
ወይም ደግሞ they are expert in a specific domain ብለን ነው የተነሳነው መጀመሪያው ነው። The next one is reasoning machine.
F, communicate ማድረግ የሚችል they have ability to communicate and negotiate with human and other machine ነው የሚሆነው።
Then the last one is self awareness system.
Artificial intelligence algorithm that will have been portrayed in media.
So this is all about the machine question.
When we come to part 2, multiple choice question. Question number 1 says, which one of the following is correct sequence of technologies that are introduced during industrial revolution? Just in order to answer this question, let's see industrial revolution period from first industrial revolution to fourth industrial revolution. When we come to first industrial revolution, it is coined on 1760, and the technologies that are introduced during this revolution
introduced. The first one is hand production method to machine. The next one is increases of steam power.
Steam power, in a sense, it is just a steam engine and diesel engine,
which is from actual water. The next one is development of machine tools,
and like quotation, rise of factory system. Second industrial revolution is coined or started in 1870, and it is also known as technological revolution. And the technologies that are introduced during the first industrial revolution is widespread adapt on second industrial revolution, but the new technologies that are introduced during second industrial revolution are electric power. When we come to third industrial revolution, started on 1950, also known as digital revolution. And the core factor of this revolution is mass production and widespread use of digital logic circuit, computer, handphone እና ኢንተርኔት ያሉትን ክሬት ለማድረግ ነው። Then the fourth industrial revolution is coined or started by Klaus Schwab in 2016, and the technologies that are introduced during this or fourth industrial revolution are just robotics, internet of things, additive manufacture and autonomous vehicle, virtual reality, cyber physical system.
We call them the cyber physical system.
እነዚህ cyber physical system የሚጠቀሙ ቴክኖሎጂዎች እነዚህ ናቸው ማለት ነው። በፎርት ኢንዱስትሪያል ሪቮሉሽን ክሬት
when we come to this one is additive manufacturing, which means producing the product by using the 3D printer ማለት ነው። 3D printer ተጠቅሞ ፕሮዲዩስ ማድረግ ማለት ነው።
ስለዚህ በዚህ መሰረት ይሄን ጥያቄ ስንመልስ ዲዛይን ኢንጂን መጀመሪያ ፕሮዲዩስ የተደረገ ነው። ኤሌክትሪሲቲ ሁለተኛ ፕሮዲዩስ የተደረገ ነው። ኢንተርኔት ሶስተኛ ፕሮዲዩስ የተደረገ ነው። አራተኛ ቨርቹዋሊቲ። ፈርስት ቾይስ ኮሬክት ነው ማለት ነው። ዲዛይን ኢንጂን፣ ኤሌክትሪሲቲ፣ ቨርቹዋል ሪያሊቲ አይሆንም። ይሄኛው ፎርዝ ኢንዱስትሪያል ሪቮሉሽን ላይ ነው። የኛው ኢንተረስት ሰርድ ሪቮሉሽን ላይ ነው ኤሌክትሪሲቲ አሁንም ሰከንድ ኢንዱስትሪያል ሪቮሉሽን ላይ ነው ፕሮዲዩስ የተደረገው ስለዚህ ኤ ኢዝ ዘ ኮሬክት አንሰር
the correct sequence of technologies in the industrial revolution.
Second question, which one of the following is correct variable declaration in a program? So in order to answer this question, let's check data type according to computer programming perspective.
We can see data type from two perspectives, which is the first one is from computer programming perspective, the other one is from data analysis perspective. So
from computer programming perspective, data type is simply an attribute that tells to the compiler or the interpreter how the programmer are intended to use the data. A name for a piece of memory that can be used to store some information now.
Yeah.
So variable declare ለማድረግ variable declaration የሚባላል variable declare ለማድረግ we can use any combinations of letter and number for a variable. But it cannot start with number and it can start with underscore but it cannot be any reserved word or keyword ምንላቸውን አያጠቃልልም ማለት ነው and it needs at least one space between variable and data type.
The first one is integer ምንለው ነው which is used to store whole number ወይም ደግሞ integer mathematical integer ምንላቸውን store የሚያደርግልና the next one is boolean ምንለው ነው and we can use bool as a keyword for the boolean which is used to store either true or false value. The third one is character ምንለው ነው we use the character uses char as a keyword and this section is kind of variable and that the next one is floating point ምንለው ነው which is used to store real number ምንላቸውን store የሚያደርግልና and the last one is alphanumeric character ምንላቸው ማለት ነው which is used to store both alphabet and number ምንላቸውን digit ምንላቸውን store የሚያደርግልና alphanumeric ይባላል ማለት ነው. The next perspective is from data analytics perspective ምንለው ነው data analytics perspective data type can be classified into three.
Structured data that follows or adhere a predefined data model follow የሚያደርግና it conforms a tabular format with the relationship between rows and columns መቀመጥ የሚችል ነው የሚለው ማለት ነው. Let's say for example Excel file and structural query language database they are examples of structured data and their format is a tabular format and with the relationship between rows and columns.
The next data type from data analysis perspective is semi-structured data which is a form of structured data that does not conform with the formal structure which means the formal the predefined data model confirm የማያደርግ or adhere የማያደርግ ማለት ነው which means they have no any kind of tabular format የላቸውም እያለ ነው ማለት ነው. They have tags and other markers which is used to separate the semantics element from the data and also the tags and other markers enable them to have a kind of hierarchical format እንዲኖራቸው ያደርግልናል ብለናል and they also known as some self-describing structure ይባላል.
So for example JSON JavaScript object notation extended markup language cascading style sheet and bootstrap የሚባሉት በዚህ በsemi structured data structure example ናቸው. Mostly they are used by programmer. The third data type according to data analytics perspective is unstructured data. Unstructured data is just simply it does not follow a predefined data model and its representation is not tabular format with the relationship between row and column and also it have no simply it can't contain tag or other marker separate semantic element rather it is simply text heavy የሚባለው data type just is unstructured data type according to data analysis perspective. And let's say for example text of video audio image those are simply unstructured data and they are text heavy and mostly above 80% of our world people use this kind of data.
And the last one is metadata ምንለው ነው which is also known as data about data ምንለው ወይም ደግሞ additional information for a specific set of data ምንለው we call it metadata እንለዋለን ማለት ነው. Like author, date created or date modified, file size which is
used to explain or used to express or have additional information about another data.
Yeah.
So these are simply data type according to data analytics perspective and computer programming perspective. So let's answer the second question. Which of the following is correct variable declaration in a program? Just int var ይላል int I capital letter ነች ይሄ አይሆንም ማለት ነው. C b int var this is correct. ቡሊያን ቫር ቡል ነው የሚባለው ቢ ስሞል ነው የሚሆነው። ፍሎቲንግ ፖይንት ቫር ይሄ አይባልም። እዚህ ጋር ስፔስ ሳይኖረውም እዚህ ጋር ደግሞ ፍሎት ብቻ ነው የሚደረገው። ስለዚህ ቢ ኢዝ አወር ኮሬክት አንሰር። which one of the following is or are semi structured data type? Cascading style sheet, structural query language database, extended markup language, A and C. So when we come to choice B, structural query language database and Excel file have a tabular format and
which means structured data
which is structured data and cascading style sheet and XML extended markup language የሚባሉት እነዚህኞቹ ምንድናቸው? they have semi-structured data tag or marker ያላቸው ናቸው ማለት ነው። separate semantic element. Then the correct answer is D.
In question number 4, which data type is most suitable and straightforward to analysis and to understand? Which means the data that have tabular format and the data that adheres to the predefined data model is easy to understand or straightforward for analysis ምንላቸው ናቸው ማለት ነው።
ስለዚህ is the correct answer. Structured data.
Question number 5.
Which one of the following statement is not correct about structured data type? The first choice A, structured data is a data that adheres or follows to a predefined data model. That's correct about structured data. Choice B, a structured data conform to a tabular format which with a relationship between different rows and columns. That's correct. Structural query language SQL database can be described as example for structured data type. Is correct. Enforce hierarchy of records and filled with data,
which is for semi-structured data ወይም ደግሞ they have tags and other markers ብለናል አይደለ?
to separate semantic element,
which means they will have a hierarchical format አላቸው ማለት ነው። So the answer
so the correct answer is
D.
choice D. That's not correct about structured data.
Okay.
So question number 6, instead of photograph there is a data that describe a place and time information about the photo. So what is the data type of photograph and the data related to time and place information respectively?
Okay. This question have two parts. The first one is what the data type for the photograph. The next one is the data related ወይም ደግሞ the data that describes photograph date ምንላቸው ወይም place ምንለው ፎቶውን የሚገልጹ ዳታዎች ማለት ነው።
ስለዚህ ይሄኛው unstructured ዳታ ነው። ቀጣይ ያለው ስለ ፎቶ ኤክስፕሌን ማድረግ የሚችለው ታይም እና ፕሌስ አዲሽናል ኢንፎርሜሽን አባውት ፎቶ ነው። this known as metadata. ስለዚህ unstructured data and metadata, choice C is correct answer.
Yeah, question number 7, which one of the following programming languages is most suitable for developing artificial intelligence? Choice A, which is Python, choice B, which is C++, choice C, Java, and the last one is Prolog. All these programming languages used to develop artificial intelligence, but the question says the most suitable for developing artificial intelligence. So Python is the most suitable to develop artificial intelligence ይሆናል ማለት ነው።
ጥያቄ ቁጥር 8 which one of the following artificial intelligence are categorized under limited memory? Artificial intelligence can be categorized into 4 according to their function. The first one is reactive machine, the second one is limited memory, third one is theory of mind, and the fourth one is
self-awareness
ተብሎ ይከፈላል። ሊሚትድ ሚሞሪ የምንለው የአርቲፊሻል ኢንተለጀንስ አይነት ምን አይነት አርቲፊሻል ኢንተለጀንስ ነው? they can store past experience or some data for short period of time. Simply memory that used to store past experience for short period of time, and they have ability to use the stored data for a limited time, and self-driving car is mostly the best example for a limited memory because just self-driving car can store the recent speed of nearby car and the distance of other car, speed limit and other information that is to navigate the road ማድረግ የሚችልበት ነገር አለው self driving car ማለት so self driving car is simply examples of limited memory. ስለዚህ በዚህ መሰረት which one of the following artificial intelligence can be categorized under limited memory? Drones, Google AlphaGo, self-driving car, ANC. Drones and self-driving car are examples of limited memory, whereas Google AlphaGo and IBM Deep Blue system are examples of reactive machines. D is correct answer. Question number 9. Which one of the following statement is or are correct about industrial revolution? Choice A. Industrial Revolution was a period of major industrialization and innovation that takes place during the late of 1700s and early 1800s. That's correct. Choice B. Industrial Revolution is occur when the society shift from using tools to make to use new source of energy like cotton gin. That's correct. Industrial Revolution was a time when manufacturing of goods moved from a small shop and homes to a large factory. That's also correct. And hence, all are possible answer. Choice D is correct answer.
Question number 10. Which of the following technologies are introduced during Fourth Industrial Revolution? Which of the following technologies are introduced during Fourth Industrial Revolution? Virtual reality, computer, electricity and internet.
Virtual reality is fourth industrial revolution. Computer is third industrial revolution. Electricity is second industrial revolution. Internet is third industrial revolution. Hence, question number 10 is correct answer. Question number 11. Which one of the following statement is correct about third industrial revolution? About third industrial revolution is correct. Choice A. It was the revolution of mass production and widespread adoption of digital logic circuit. That's correct. Choice B. It was the revolution of widespread adoption of pre-existing technological systems such as telegraph and network. So this is second industrial revolution. Choice C.
It was the revolution coined by Klaus Schwab, the founder and executive chairman of World Economic Forum in 2060. Choice C, which is for the fourth industrial revolution. Yeah.
And choice D, it was the revolution that initiates the rise of factory system. This is first industrial revolution.
So the answer will be A.
Choice A is the correct answer. Digital logic circuit, and hence third industrial revolution is also known as digital revolution.
Question number 12. Which one of the following digital electronic system is used to execute software instruction to perform a wide variety of tasks such as running a word processing program or video game? Microprocessor, network, logic device, and memory is the choices. And then in order to answer this question, we need to see this one. So in the world of digital electronic system, there are four basic kinds of devices. The first one is memory device, which is used to store random information or which is used to store data and information simply. The next one is the microprocessors, which is used to execute instructions to perform a wide variety of tasks like word processing, video game, and other. The third one is logic devices, which is used to provide a specific function like device-to-device interfacing or data communication. The last one is network, which is a kind of collection of computer server or network devices which are connected to each other in order to share kind of data between them. Microprocessor is the answer.
Which one of the following is not programmable logic device? A. Computer. B. Silicon blue technology. C. lattice semiconductor. D. None. Since all are types of programmable logic device, and D is correct answer.
Question number 14.
Which one of the following is not considered as advantages of human-computer interaction? A. Improve interaction between user and computer. B. Simplicity and ease deployment and operation. C. Increase solution design time and integration complexity. D. Cost saving and smaller setup. So in order to answer this question, let us see.
The goal of HCI is to improve the interaction between user and the computer by making computers more user-friendly or easy to use for users. And the main advantage of HCI or human-computer interaction is, first one is simplicity, the next one is ease of development and operation, third one is cost saving for smaller setups, and the last one is they are reduced solution design time and integration complexity. So choice C, increase solution design time and integration complexity. See the answer for question number 14.
Yeah, it is decrease.
Yeah, decrease solution time and integration complexity. Question number 50. Which of the following statement is not correct about data and information?
Data and information.
Data can be defined as a representation of fact, concept, or instruction, or simply is a collection of figures and raw fact. It can be described as unprocessed fact and figures, whereas information is processed data. The third point is we can represent data by using alphabet, digit, or special characters to represent ማድረግ እንችላለን. When it comes to information is processed data or analyzed or interpreted data ምንለው ነው.
Simply data and information ለማየት data is simply a collections of fact and figure ነው። የኛው collections of final result or processed result ነው። የኛው unorganized ነው data information ሲባል organized form ነው። It's not directly useful because it needs some process and
we can use the information directly since it doesn't need any kind of processing. The next point is data. We can term data as an input for data processing cycle, and when it comes to information, the information will be the output for data processing cycle. The last one is in order to get raw factor or figures, we need to observe or we need to record from the environment. Then when it comes to information just need analyzing the collected data. So which of the following statements is not correct about data information? A, data is a representation of raw fact, whereas information is processed data, which is correct. The next one is B, data alone can never be significant, whereas information is always important by itself, which is correct. Information is just a collection of alphanumeric symbols, whereas data is organized form, or data have organized form, which is not correct.
false.
Yeah, and the last one is which is correct. The information is based on analysis of data, whereas data is based on observation. So
Choice is correct answer.
question number 16, in which steps of data processing cycle the input data is changed to produce a data in the more useful form? Okay, in order to answer question number 16, we need to see the description, which is
ይህን ጥያቄ ለመመለስ ስለ ዳታ ፕሮሰሲንግ ሳይክል ማየት አለብን። ዳታ ፕሮሰሲንግ ማለት ሲምፕሊ ኢት ኢዝ a way of restructuring or reordering data by people or machine in order to increase their usefulness ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ሶስት ቤዚክ ስቴፕ አለው። ጀመሪያው ኢንፑት ነው። as this step ላይ the input data is prepared in most convenient form based on data processing machine. data processing machine ቤዝ አድርገን ኢንፑታችንን ቤስትሊ ፕሪፔር ማድረግ አለብን in some convenient form. ፕሮሰሲንግ ላይ the input data changed to produce the data in more useful form produce የሚደረግበት ፕሮሰስ የሚያደርግበት ነው according to processing machine.
the third step is output ምንለው ነው። data processing changes the raw fact to more useful form, which will be the output ይሆናል ማለት ነው። the result for the preceding processing step. So question number 16, the answer will be processing ይሆናል ማለት ነው። question number 17, blank is a means of managing data that makes it more useful for users engaging in data discovery and analysis. The first one is data analysis, data storage, data curation and data usage የሚሉት እነዚህኞቹ የተሰጡን ኦልተርኔቲቮች ናቸው። so in order to answer this question we need to see the description.
Data value chain is simply it is a process of data creation and use from first identifying the need for data to its final use and possible use ያለውን የምናይበት a process ነው። data value chain የሚሉት data value chain is simply a process of data creation and use from first identifying the need for data to its final use and possible use.
Data value chain have 5 major stages. The first stage is data creation, the next stage is data analysis, the third one is data curation, the fourth one is data storage, and the last one is data usage ማለት ነው። data value chain, the chain or the step which is to get value from the given data ማለት ስለሆነ ስለዚህ ከጋዘሪንግ ዩዜጅ ያለውን ነገር ያካትላል ማለት ነው። data curation is the means of managing data that makes it more useful for users engaging in data discovery or data analysis ምንለው ነው። ወይም ደግሞ active management of data over its life cycle, which is data curation ምንለው ነው ማለት ነው።
Or data curation is a way of improving the accessibility and quality of data. የዳታውን accessibility እና ኳሊቲውን improve የሚደረግበት ስቴጅ ነው። it is mostly performed with expert curator.
So question number 17, blank is a means of managing data that makes it more useful for users engaging in data discovery. The answer will be data curation ይሆናል ማለት ነው።
C is correct answer.
Question number 18, which one of the following is correct sequence of tools that are used in life cycle of big data with Hadoop system? The first one, scoop, then pig, hue and spark. Scoop, spark, pig and hue. Spark, scoop, pig and hue. Spark, scoop, hue and pig is the alternative. So
in order to answer this question, let's see big data life cycle with Hadoop.
So in order to process the big data with Hadoop system, there are 4 basic steps. The first one is data ingestion, the next one is data processing, the third one is analyzing and computing, the last one is visualizing the result ምንላቸው ናቸው።
On On the first stage, the data is ingested from relational database management system and event data to Hadoop distributed file system. For this purpose, there are two tools. Those are Scoop and Flume that are used to ingest data into Hadoop distributed file system. Scoop means tool that used to ingest data from relational database management system to Hadoop distributed file system, whereas Flume is used to ingest data from event data to Hadoop distributed file system.
When you come to the next one, which is data processing, the data which is ingested by using Scoop and Flume will be processed by using kind of tools like Spark and MapReduce tool.
On third step, there will be analysis and computing. After the data is processed based on Spark and MapReduce tool, it will be compute and analyze based on Pig and Hive.
Pig and Hive is used to compute or analyze the data. Hive is more suitable for structured data.
After the data are processed based on Spark and MapReduce, it will be analyzed and compute based on two tools known as Pig and Hive. And after analyze and compute, it will be visualize final result based on Hue and Cloud Research.
So question number 18, the first one, choice A, Scoop, Pig, Hue, and Spark. The next one is Scoop, which is found in data ingestion. The next one is Spark, which is found in data processing. The third one is Pig, which is found in data analysis and computing. The last one is Hue and Cloud Research, which is used to access the result. So choice B is the correct answer for question number 18. Question number 90, which of the following ACID property of relational database management system explains as the transaction must be either fully committed or aborted? Yeah, as we said before, data value chain is a chain or a flow of steps which is used to get value from the given data. The first one is data question analysis, data curation, and the fourth one is data storage. Data storage, which means storing the data in either relational database management system or SQL or non-SQL የምንላቸዋሉ።
ዳታን ስቶር የምናደርግበት ስቶሬጃችን ሪሌሽናል ዳታቤዝ ማኔጅመንት ሲስተም ከሆነ it must follow ACID property. On ACID property, atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability የሚል ነው። Atomicity is the transaction are all done or aborting or nothing, which means that atomicity is the transaction should be fully committed or aborted. There is no partial transaction.
Yeah, the next one is consistency. Only valid data should be stored in our database in order to make it consistent. The third one is isolation. One transaction does not affect the other transaction, or transactions should be independent from each other. The last one is
durability. Written data will not be lost.
Yeah, should be available in all the systems.
Even if the system will be crashed, then the written data will not be lost and may be available on other device.
So the question says the transaction must be either fully committed or aborted. So fully committed or aborted ከሆነ the answer will be atomicity. The transaction is kind of atom ማለት ነው።
Question number 20.
Hadoop is used to store multiple copies of data on different machines or servers and is resistant to hardware failure. Its characteristics of Hadoop is related to the 4 key characteristics of Hadoop include the first characteristics of Hadoop is economical. We can use ordinary computers in order to process the big data, which implies highly economical. Actually, big data process ለማድረግ ordinary computers ራሳቸው process ማድረግ አይችሉም. Then when we come to Hadoop ሲያገኙ ግን they can process the big data, which means we can use ordinary computer to process the big data. Economical ነው ማለት ነው.
This is economical.
Yeah.
And the second one is reliable, which means that it is reliable at it can store a copy of data on different machine and it can resist hardware failure because the copy of data is stored on different machine, and if one device is failed, the copy of the data will get on another device.
Okay, the third one is scalability. We can easily add extra hardware or extra node in the system, which means horizontal scalability in order to increase the performance, which means the vertical scalability of the Hadoop. The next one is flexibility. We can store different kinds of data like structured, unstructured, or semi-structured data and store ማድረግ ይችላል ማለት ነው Hadoop. This is all about the 4 characteristics of Hadoop. So question number 20, Hadoop have the ability to to store multiple copies of data on different machines or servers, and if there is a hardware failure binor resist ማድረግ ይችላል የሚለው characteristic የትኛው ነው የሚነግረን ነው የሚለው
reliable is the correct answer. Choice B. Yeah. Question number 21. Which one of the following tool is used to ingest data from relational database management system to Hadoop distributed file system? Hive is used to compute, Spark used to process, Scoop used to ingest, Cloud Research is used to visualize the result. Hence, Scoop is correct answer. Choice C. የመጀመሪያው የቪዲዮ ክፍል እስከ ጥያቄ ቁጥር 21 ነበረ። የሁለተኛው የቪዲዮ ክፍል ከጥያቄ ቁጥር 22 እስከ ጥያቄ ቁጥር 55 የሚደርሱ 33 ያልተሰሩ የመልቲፕል ቾይስ ኩዌስችን አሉ እና ሌላ የወርክ አውት ኤክስፕላኔሽን ኩዌስችን አሉ። እነሱም በሚቀጥለው ክፍል እንሰራለን ማለት ነው።
ኦኬ ያ ቪዲዮ ይሄን ይመስል ነበር። ከወደዳችሁት ላይክ፣ ለሰው ይጠቅማል ብላችሁ ካሰባችሁ ሼር አድርጉት። and then ቤተሰብ ለመሆን ደግሞ